Very beautiful girl. Talking about when the boy gets the girl wrapped around his finger, he does what?
He pulls away. And that especially happens when guys see a girl for multiple weeks. They understand that the girl is comfortable with him, and of course he will feel that he has her wrapped around his finger, and since he's way too comfortable with him, what is he gonna do? He's gonna pull away, and then the girl will have nothing else to do than come his way if she wants him in her life. And I think the biggest mistake that girls do is not being able to break the cycle, in the sense that, of course, if one person pulls away, the other person will come your way. But the moment the guy realizes that this girl is not going to come his way and that she actually has a fulfilled life of her own, he will be like, damn, she actually holds some value in herself. He will also think to himself, okay, if I'm not gonna do it, if I'm not gonna be in her life, there are plenty of other guys who are happily willing to take my position. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah. American boys are used to it coming easy to them. So when a girl decides that she sees him pulling back and she's not going to chase, he will try to find some other girl that will chase.
But I just think that no girl should ever chase after a guy in general. When you chase as a girl after a guy, you are pre-exposing yourself of living a miserable life. A girl should always operate in her feminine energy. When it comes to earning money and to becoming an individual, of course you will always have some sort of masculine energy involved into it, but especially when you are looking to be with someone in a romantic way, the guy is the one that is supposed to do the chasing. He will also feel way more fulfilled in himself. When he gets a girl easy, won't be a challenge for him, and he will also not have any desire to be with her. That's why I just feel to be a high value woman, you also first need to see the value that you have on your own. So many girls want to receive princess treat, but then you also need to ask yourself, do you give that to yourself? An example, there's something that is called the empty home. So basically you go into a room, and when you as a guy go into a girl's room and you see, oh my god, everything is super clean, super needy, then the guy's like, oh shit, if she ever comes to me, I also need to look after myself. However, if you go into a room and the girl lives like a pig,
there before
lives like a pig, then he will not make any effort that when she comes into his place, she'll be like, oh, it's fine that shoes are lying there. I mean, I will meet her there where she's meeting herself. Because at the end of the day, trash is trash. And if you treat yourself like trash, why would a guy treat you like a princess?
Fair enough. What if we take the example of something people are very familiar with, Kim and Kanye?
Yeah.
All right, so Kanye, obviously a very, very high status man. Kim Kardashian, a very, very high status woman. Would you say that for the average woman, chasing after a very high status man like Kanye would be a fulfilling? I mean, ultimately, we're talking about psychology here. I've also studied over 100,000 people in my life, some more than others. Obviously, some people I meet them for 5 minutes and they're gone. Other people I'll meet them for 40 minutes at a time, and I'll get to find out where they're from, who they are, how they got to be here. But
I'm currently on my way to my massage from
right.
Ohio to Cincinnati.
This is Uber psychology conversations. And so, psychologically speaking, men are driven by the hunt. Most men.
Yeah.
Any high status
all men, unless they're gay.
Well, any high status man is going to be driven by the hunt, because he achieves high status by being a successful hunter, and other hunters will respect him when he brings home a 10-point buck. And the reason
For sure.
is because it's hard to get. From the psychology perspective, you have to play hard to get.
Not playing hard to get, it is being able hard to get, because first of all,
it's not just playing the part,
yeah,
it's actually being a high status woman.
Exactly. When are you interesting to a man? Of course, when you have a fulfilled life. So what does it mean to have a fulfilled life? That simply means having your own passions, having your own hobbies. And that also means when there is TikTok advice where don't text a man back right away. You won't even be able to text men back right away if you have an interesting and fulfilled life of your own. If I'm going to the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm having my own priorities. And the problem is that a lot of girls, they make the guy their priority. If you make the guy the priority, you also put him on a pedestal. And at the end of the day, why do guys not want to date cheap girls? The girl that you decide to date is also a representation of yourself. And that's the same for the girl. She needs to look out for the guy she's dating, because that guy is simply a reflection of who she is as a person. That's why guys, they will never settle for girls that they think are easy and they have no standards for themselves, because they're like, oh my god, it's so easy. Like, why would I treat her with value? Why would I give her anything if she doesn't see the value in herself? You can't even chase a girl that doesn't think anything of herself.
Have you studied Sigmund Freud?
I had it in high school, but since I'm not a psychology major, I didn't do it here.
So let's talk about the relationship, because I'm a wedding guy, right?
Yeah.
I've been to 300 weddings in my life. Mothers identifying with their sons and the fathers identifying with their daughters, or vice versa, is a very Sigmund Freud-esque idea. If Freud is to be believed, which I've seen it played out in over 300 real-world examples, the mothers raise their sons, the sons identify with their mothers, so ultimately a son
Will always go for someone who is like their mother.
trying to find a girl who's going to pick up where their mother left off.
Example right there, because I just feel like, especially your family, that's your environment that you have been raised in. So you will always try to, a girl, not find a man, but attract a man into your life that is somewhat similar, like your father figure.
Unless your father is absent.
Unless your
Because
father is absent.
In the circumstance where your father is not around or didn't raise you, or he was a jerk to your mother.
Yeah, then you have issues, and then you are more likely to have toxic relationships, and
because you're going to invite a man into your life, whether you want to or not,
that doesn't treat you
that
well.
is like your dad. It's good or bad. The relationship between the father and the daughter translates into the relationship between the boyfriend and the girlfriend, the husband and the wife. The way he treats his mother is exactly how he'll treat his wife.
I also met guys myself, like, you're talking to a person, you can tell in what type of family he grew up in. When guys are likely to swear or look down at a girl, that highly means that that's how he grew up in his family, because he has some family related issues.
Exactly. So, finding this person at a bar on a Friday night.
Just think, honestly, maybe that's just me. I usually don't think anything of people that I meet in the bar or in a club. Whenever there's like alcohol involved or anything else, and it's like you're vibrating on such low vibrations. And like, let's be so for real right now, when you go out, 9 out of 10 times the only person that you're going to meet is someone who is drunk, who wants to have fun and have any meaningful conversation. And do you really need to go out with a person after on a date, or like even exchange contacts with someone who you just met? Like, of course there might be exceptions and you might like really like vibe with the person, but most of the time the person that you're talking to doesn't even know what's going on within himself, because he has like either drugs, either alcohol. Or I really think that you meet the love of your life when you don't expect it, not when you need to get ready, look your best to go out into a bar or into a club to meet anyone.
So should a man, or somebody in your circle, whatever, should they happen to see you at the gym, should they approach you there?
Yeah.
But she's working out. I don't want to interrupt her workout. That would be rude for me.
I feel like a guy can always do it smoothly. Like, I feel like it's all about being...
It's always up to the guy. You ever notice
that?
The
moment you as a girl do the first move is the moment you lose. Okay, I have a question for you all.
Go ahead.
What person did you like the most? The person that gave you the most anxiety, or the person that reassured you the most? And in most cases, it's the person that gave you anxiety, because then you like overanalyze every single detail, and then this person takes up your headspace, and there's basically a correlation. The more you're thinking about a person and the more he's taking up your brain space, the more you're also going to like him. Simple message can be like, oh my god, how did he take it? Did he take it well? Did he not take it well? Rejection breeds obsession. Guys that can come up to a girl despite maybe getting rejected, it just shows confidence. Like, it's all about confidence. Riz, yeah, exactly. Riz.
2 Point met a lovely young couple, but she walked over to him and started talking to him first.
Go into a club and I can see plenty of attractive people there, you know what I mean? But just because I see an attractive guy there, like, if we're making eye contact, but then he doesn't have the risk to come up to me, his flaws, I will kiss him goodbye. Someone else will do what I want. A guy in my life that can't even come up to me.
You're a very traditional woman.
If you come up to a guy in the club, bring yourself up for failure, because then you're gonna be both the girlfriend and the boyfriend in the relationship. To each their own. Everyone looks for different qualities in their partner, and maybe some girls are fine with settling for a guy who they need to approach first. But in my eyes, and personally speaking from my own experience, I would never want to be with a guy that I would need to approach first, because this is also not in an environment that I was raised in. I was just on holiday in Miami and I had a very controversial topic on splitting the bill. I would never pay, because
so
I would
stuck in the friend zone.
Yeah,
you
like,
should have taken that bill. Italian.
yeah.
Okay, the Italian people, Spanish people, the Latin languages have 5 definitions of the word love. So here in America, where we say we love someone, it's this constant state of affirmation. I love the way you look in that dress. I love this. I love that. I love you. Okay, but when the Italians express their love, sometimes it sounds like love does not always have this constant affirmation. Sometimes it is, I love you so much that I would never let you be as awful as you're being right now. My love language might be waking up in the morning and seeing my clothes folded and put away.
I don't think any guys' love language is... I know that you just mentioned this as an example, but if you want that your woman puts your clothes away and you wake up and it's perfectly folded,
because my mother used to do that for me.
But then I feel like you're not looking for the woman of your dreams, you're looking just for a personal assistant. Think that you want that, but subconsciously, if the moment your girl starts like packing your clothes or your suitcase, you'll be like, oh damn, it's so nice to have her. Who wouldn't want to be with a personal assistant that does everything for you? Back to your other point of love, I just think so many people overuse the term love in general. Being in love with someone and loving someone is completely different. I feel like, of course, you can be in love with someone, or you can like someone so much that you think that you love them, but saying I love you to someone and saying I'm in love with you, it's completely different. Being in love with someone, it's just a temporary thing, versus truly loving someone. No matter if you are happy, sad, you still love the person. Especially when it comes to people my age or younger than me, they don't really know what love is. They just overuse the word. But you only know if you truly love someone when time goes by. You cannot say I love you to someone after a month of knowing them, or means that you're in love with them. You are as deep of an individual as you make yourself to be, and when you can say I love you to different people that you're dated, that also means that what you see as love is very surface level
Speaking of controversial topics, what about Jesus? He loved everybody.
There are different types of love. The love I have for my parents is
I just said I love you.
It's a different love that I have for my friend, a different love that I have for my boyfriend. What is the solution for girls in terms of guys? And I just think you always need to see what the guy is doing with his actions. Not listen to his words, but listen more to his actions, because his actions will truly show you if he wants to be with you or not.
Just so you know, that's another Jesus thing. You shall know them by their fruits.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast. Rebecca Spielman Podcast. Find her on YouTube at Rebecca Spielmann.